All right, let's get right back into it. These are the last couple of games going down right now. There's roughly 5 minutes or so before the queue will close, and then that's it. You will be in the round that you're in, and you need to earn as much as you can before those leaderboards fully update. And the last game populates out the score. So Taco, I mean, what we've seen so far is definitely, I'd say, surprising set of results, if you will, right? You and I were speaking, of course, before the games kicked off. We're like, hey, this is the team that we think, you know, some of the new duos might do pretty well. And all of a sudden, I think there's a lot of great decisions that probably came out of teams switching up.
It's almost as if a vindictive nature of sorts has overtaken each and every single one of those teams. Because again, when you're the duo that gets replaced first, you want to prove that should have never happened in the first place, right? And you don't want to get too caught up in the nature of everything, but can't help but think that it definitely added some fuel to the fire for a lot of the teams involved here today, especially those 4 that were involved in that very specific circumstance that we discussed earlier on.
Not only that, if they all end up, obviously, in the same upper or lower bracket, they will be contesting one another. Like, they are going to continue those feuds. So we're going to have a very, very exciting set of FNCS in front of us in the weeks to come. I mean, you bet it, because the points that we've seen start to rack up here, a lot of those duo shakeups that came in the last moment today that had to perform have a lot of points, a significant amount of points, I would say, likely more than they scored in that first week with their first set of duos. So I am interested to see how things are going to shake up.
Again, it'll definitely be some fun content, that's for sure. But this lobby right here, MDF, the way that it has completely just been an elimination frenzy from the looks of things. We are only in the 8th zone, by the way. And just look at how many players remain.
Oh, yeah.
Tenley and Sharkman. They've got 3 limbs spread between the 2 of them. Thunderpump and Give Me a PC. Kind of just watching the accumulation of limbs take place beneath them. They don't actually have any of their own just yet.
Someone on the team is definitely a fan of Clicks Give Me a PC. As we've seen him again, he's got high ground. It's looking good. Elsa and Pleasure turning up on the low ground right now. 8 eliminations. And mind you, this one is going to wrap up fairly shortly, pretty quickly. And I hope we're gearing up to hop into other lobbies, because there is definitely going to be some other action in play right now for any lobbies that kicked off a little bit later, because this shows us that this game, you know, started long before the lobby queue was closing.
Yeah, and you can definitely see some of the way that these teams are kind of spread throughout the low ground of this match here. I think a lot of these teams kind of trying to hover that river of sticks that runs through the heart of Grim Gate here. Just provides so much escape opportunity, as well as height overtake opportunity, as well as just aggression into box fighting opportunity. So a lot of prime options, I think, that these teams are kind of being left over with. Lawrence and Xanda have certainly taken advantage of the situation from what it appears. 12 eliminations in total, and definitely still trying to keep it going.
Yeah, they've really found their foundation here in this game. Let's see what's going to happen there. Decisions. They look up for high ground. Pledge's probably not happy about that one. Lawrence is just going to start cranking. He doesn't even look back. He lets his team put them into a frenzy and then goes straight for high ground. Very interesting tactic to go ahead and take height. And you can see the foundation of that base wasn't very solid. That's a good 400 or so mats tossed to the wind there. But it is what it is. They now are maintaining this high ground position here. What are they going to do with it? That's what matters.
Well, they've got to act fast, if anything, or hope that nobody notices them just yet, because they don't have that many materials left to work with. But then again, with the way that things came so quickly to a halt here in this lobby, I'm hearing so many shots being applied. But again, in terms of duos, it's a solo endeavor from H-Cube, and it's going to fall short here as he gets picked up off the low ground. Blue Cow, Fly Carries, Tenleys, so many players just trying to stay at the front side of zone on the low ground.
By the way, HQ had 11 eliminations. Teammate had none. So what in the world kind of clutch was that? I don't know. But Bacon and Gabe, or TK here, on the move right now. This is definitely a top tier duo right here. One that is very much familiar with one another. They can do some damage here. This is where TK normally starts to let loose here. One of our stronger controller players. Bacon gets punished here on the rotate. Meanwhile, King on Expo and Donnie here in the mix. Orange and Xanda have secured the high ground here. They've managed to heal up, but no material. They are working off enemy builds. This is about as dangerous as it can get. Lawrence, the greed sets in as he thought about jumping down for the mats, but no, lets his guard down just a little bit. And Xanda is now by himself. Xanda got a trade there. That's actually very impressive that he managed to find something, even in that chaos.
But now, look again at the high ground. It's going to be King 1 Expo. It's overtaking it. A dash from Xanda to attempt to overthrow him, but a futile attempt as he finds himself being eliminated in the process. Click's give me a PC, and Thunder Pump. This might have actually worked out for the best, but no, instead, Xanda actually still holding on. Thought that he'd actually been knocked in the process here, but finds an opportunity to keep thriving. TK and Bacon, though, as a duo, they might be able to close this one out.
I think it's looking good. TK and Bacon are going to full cap right here. I'm actually surprised they didn't actually fully heal. That's just habit kicking in, and he's just going to go for it. Catches him off guard, dashes up. What a well-executed attack right there, and we just called it. TK and Bacon can win a game. They're that dangerous in the end game, and the Qs might have just closed on that win all at the same time there.
Might have actually been gifted that one if you think about where the zone was actually closing in. Having those dashes available to expend is the only reason why we saw TK and Bacon be able to split the focus. Two different angles that they made sure to aggress from, one from the low ground, and then again we saw Bacon go up, challenging on height, and that alone just kind of shows the synergy that this duo is capable of.
And it just well played. It just shows you how much the territory comes into play. So with that, congrats to Bacon and TK. That is wraps. Zeke, take us through what happens next.